Are we live? It seems that we might be live. Ooh, interesting. That we might be live. Oh, okay. Hold on. Interesting. That we might be live. I've got the. Oh, okay. Hold on. Oh, look at this. I've got the. That was weird. So I've got the feed going. I've got input coming from my my computer the into the stream, but I've also yeah, it's the head. Tyler says I look really different. Still coughing. Still forgetting to elbow. I look different just because I have headphones on and I have a V-neck, so it makes me, I don't know, look better or worse, or I don't know what. Yeah. Okay. Hold on a second, because I just realized. So I've got this keyboard today. Can you hear that? Which is cool by itself. And I've got a couple of different settings on it so I can play the piano. And what I've got like the oh yeah, the like the 80s one. Like the right. Yeah. So hi guys, day two of stream. I think I've got a bit better of a technical setup, but I was just realizing that first of all, how is everybody? Let me know in the chat. But I realized I've got the stream going on my computer, so I can turn this up. I've got the stream going on my computer, so I can turn this up. And all of a sudden, I have a delay on my computer, so I can right. So hold on, let me see if I can like make something with this. Right. So hold on, let me see if I can like make something with this. Right. So hold on, let me see if I can like make something with this. Right. So hold on, well, that's kind of interesting. All right, let's kill that. How are you guys doing? Let me see what people are saying. Infinity Loop, um, improvising a cannon, makeshift Luke machine. Yep. Do I have coronavirus? I think we might have to start off every day answering this question as long as I cough. It's funny that like coughs make you cough, don't you? Like thinking about coughing makes you cough. Um, I don't know if I have coronavirus, but if I did, I got it like a month ago, and excuse me. And so I like if I got a bad flu like a month ago when I was in the States, but I it might be coronavirus. I've still got the cough, so that's a point for it. But it's too late now for me to get tested. And at the time, people didn't know that it was circulating around here. Now it looks like it might have been. So, yeah. Where are you guys from today? Is there anyone here who was here yesterday? And if not, how are you? How'd you find the stream? If you did, what should I do today different from yesterday? Indiana, let's see, Indiana, we got Indiana, Oregon, Turkey, Dublin, Barcelona, New Jersey, Bangladesh, India, Texas, Newfoundland, hey, Canadian, Netherlands, hi from Oregon, coming to New York City. I recovered from COVID-19, I'm 16. Congratulations for recovering. If you want to tell me what your experience was, if I can try to read it as it flies by. Hello from Slovenia, from Lebanon, from Philadelphia, from Massachusetts. Massachusetts, it's the 14th biggest state. Massachusetts, just 4 hours from New York. Um, Oklahoma, Slovenia, Germany. Cool. Welcome, guys. Welcome, all of you, to the second day of I don't know how many days of this, but I figured like for those of you who are new, Israel. I was here yesterday. Very cool. There. I figure like we're all gonna be stuck indoors for a while. It looks like there are rumblings around here in Quebec, where I live, where I'm going to be like that like even though we've had a whole bunch of closures and everything right now, but there's going to be even more. That there might be like a full on lockdown in the next couple days, which means I'd really be stuck. But I know that those of you in Italy and Spain and France are already locked down. I very much suspect that swaths of the U.S. are going to go the same way fairly soon. And we're all stuck indoors, so we don't have to just look at our scroll through our phones and be terrified of everything. We can do fun things. We can hang out. So I kind of want to. I don't know. I want to see if I can change the delay setting on this loop. I don't know. I want to see if I can change the. Can I like delay setting on this loop? I don't know. I want to see if I can change the. That might be as much as I can do it. That might be as much as I can do it. This is super weird. Okay, let's pause that. I did a thing. I did a thing like this on my second channel at some point. It was called "I Am Streaming in a Room." It was based on like a experimental piece in the '50s called "I Am Sitting in a Room," but where I just looped. I like took a screen capture of the live stream and I fed it back into the live stream for like 12 hours, and it very much mutilated it until it was just like blue and orange blobs and like digital sounds. It just completely destroyed it, and that was really fun. Yeah. Hi, I'm back again. Today I'll have to leave around 2015. I don't know what that means because I don't know where you are, but I presume that that's going to be in an hour if you're telling me. Oh, Mattia. Hey, how's it going? Can you improvise something on plasma physics? I don't actually know a lot of stuff on plasma physics. Hold on, let's see. Give me facts about plasma physics in the chat if you know it, and I'll try to like put them into a song. Did I freeze? Hello? Am I still here? No, I'm still here. Okay, cool. Maybe I should have just a little bit on. So, hold on, plasma physics. If you take a grape and put it in your microwave, you might get plasma. You might get plasma. If you take the sun and you do nothing, you still have plasma. You still have plasma. Plasma is a thing that happens when you got something that's hotter than gas. And if you use it at 20 million degrees, you might just solve your energy needs. There's another type of plasma, has nothing to do with the first one. It's part of your blood, the part that isn't cells. It has antibodies and stuff. That's pretty topical, cause antibodies are important right now. One of the treatments of coronavirus is you can take blood out of a person that's already had it and put it into another person. Wow, that's antibodies and stuff. Oh, but if don't have blood, 'cause you're a tokamak reactor. Then you got a fever, 'cause you gotta keep yourself at 100 million degrees if you wanna give our energy needs a break. I don't know how to end this song. So that's okay. Well, that's a thing. Um, somebody asked me. Somebody asked me a question. I don't know. I should see what's going on up here. Yeah, I still don't really have a plan for this channel. Like today, I figure like I've got a bit of a better setup than, or not for this channel, but for this stream. I think I've got a bit of a better setup. But ironic that you mentioned plasma. When I'm here, I'm supposed to be work on my astromagnetohydrodynamics exam. Magnetohydrodynamics is a pretty cool subject. I did a little project on it when I was in undergrad. It's basically like it's like the physics of plasma. So plasma, because it's hot enough that the electrons rip away from the nuclei in the atoms. So it's actually like it conducts electricity and like produces magnetic fields and stuff. Okay, William gave me a super chat that says your stream froze, but tell everyone to reset their app to continue. I don't know if that's true. To tell someone confirm that for me, if it's just William or if it's everybody. Abdus Salam, say what's good. It did not freeze. My stream's all right. Okay, cool. Yeah. I don't know. Today's been a crazy day for me. Like I made some chili early in the morning, and then I headed off at like 7 in the morning to help my sister with her family, because all the daycares are closed around here. So I've got to like we've all got to kind of take shifts taking care of the kids while my sister tries to get work done from home and go out and get like last minute groceries in case everything clamps down. Yeah. Can you explain what you tried to visualize for the new video? Okay, I can try. I think I did it a little bit yesterday. So what I'm trying to visualize for the new video is quantum fields. So a field is a thing that waves, and it, like you can call anything that's sort of represents that's like distributed through space and has a number associated with it. You can call it a field. Like you can make heat field maps and pressure field. You can talk about pressure fields in air for doing calculations. Quantum fields are as fundamental a thing as we know about, and they're the waves of them are what everything is made of. Like all particles are waves of quantum fields, and there's a particle called the electron, which you all know about. But it's very weird to try and figure out what an electron field looks like, because it's the kind of field where only one wave can exist at any one spot at one time. And I've been trying to visualize a way to make that intuitive to people. Like there's one way you can think about it, which is kind of if you have a wave of bits that can only be 0 or 1, and then if you have like a wave of a certain frequency that's like going 0 0 0 1 1 1 0 0 0 1 1 1, you can't put another wave on top of it because there's no 2. Like if you put another wave, it'll just flip back to nothing. So that's sort of what electron fields are doing, and the reason why there can't be more than one electron in one state. But it's definitely a little more complicated than that. And I was trying to figure out a way to make these visualizations for this upcoming quantum field theory video, and nothing really, I don't know, I can't really figure out how to do it. So I think I'm gonna cheat and just make some animations that are kind of on that bit flip idea, instead of trying to go full on full on like scientific accuracy, because I was trying to do like Python models and I ran out of computer space, and yeah. Hmm. I don't know. What should we do today? Yes, it's the Pauli exclusion principle. That's what's going on. Pauli had a principle. No, I don't like that. Hmm. I didn't freeze. I didn't freeze on the stream. I just froze in real life because I'm not actually very good at this. I don't know. Let's try writing a song. In the chat, give me ideas of what song to write. What I should we should write a song about. And then this is an idea that we had yesterday that we were going to see if we could write like a song collectively. So like like it sort of figure out a line and then like sort of crowdsource within the chat things for the next line. So let's see what we've got. We've got epidemiology, Bose-Einstein condensate, scientific method, just the flu and us. Social distance, don't stand so close to me. Make maybe a botanical song in honor of plants. Multiverse. Oh, Ooh, and what do you think? Should we do like a song parody or should we do like an original? Vaccines. Oh, I kind of like vaccines. Um, okay, let's do a song about vaccines. So, um, I don't know. What's a like vaccines to me are I don't know. They're like kind of a human triumph, right? So I think maybe we need like I don't know, we need a more triumphant setting, like maybe an actual piano. Um, and we can do like I don't know, we should do something major, maybe something like Lydian. Like maybe that's I don't know. That's like we can maybe work something like that. Okay, so here's what I know about I'm like by no means a vaccine expert. So here's what I know about vaccines. The first thing is that they work by giving your body immunity to a disease without you having to get the disease. So it's either part of my it's either part of the virus or like a weakened version of the virus that you get, and then you get immune to it. But like I'm a physicist. I don't know a lot of the nitty gritty details. So people start giving me like technical vaccine facts. Antibodies go to war. I kind of like that. Like oh, we could do like a triumphant like war anthem. It's like a Oh, but then if we're gonna do that, then it's like I don't know if the Lydian works. It should be more like a marching song, like the. like something like that, right? Where you can like sing it as you're marching off to war. As the vaccines go to war along the Soviet motherland. Long, long live our immune. Oh, what was I doing? Vaccines work by using parts of a virus, deactivate a virus or a weakened virus, to stimulate the immune response. Okay, do people know like which part of the immune system does it train? Does it train the T cells or the B cells? Weakened or dead part of the virus injected into your body to allow the white blood cells to recognize their antigens. The white blood cells then produce antibodies to combat them. In the memory of the white blood cells, remember them. T cells. Okay. When the T cells go to war. Okay. Oh, so this then is becoming sort of like a support the troops thing, right? Like, then the. I'm just trying to get it in my head. Okay. Do. If you aren't dead of pox and your body bears the shocks. That's not very good. Maybe include some facts about the manufacturing process. Sorry, I can't listen to this. I'm sorry, Quantum Governed. If you don't like it, that's fine. The stream isn't for everybody, I'm sure. So, okay. I mean, given the amount of stuff in here about very discredited science about autism in the chat, we're probably going to have to address that at some point in this song. Oh, who was the guy who discovered the vaccines? The guy who discovered that smallpox could be inoculated by cowpox, and then injected a little boy in a very ethical move. What's that guy's name? We could put him in there. Is it Salk? No, Salk was the polio vaccine. But the Jenner, it might have been Jenner. Edward Jenner. Okay. Whoa. A long, long time ago, when the world moved oh so slow, and blights of pox and plague destroyed the land. Then an observation came. Edward Jenner was his name. He discovered other germs could lend a hand. So say goodbye to what rhymes with war? Store, floor. Immunity, we want more. Door, to the door, out the door. That's good. S'more, score. Aha, score is good. Um, and hmm, now the vibe, yeah. Now the diseases, no. Now the plagues all know the score, and the pox it is no more. You can thank the hmm the prick has a bad connotation. I'm looking for something that's like a needle or like a mm, you can thank when the T cells go to war. That's what I'm looking for, right? You you can thank the stick that does the trick when the T cells go to war. Polio once was a curse, made the lives of children worse. It would take their bones and turn them into what it's more of just like bent and like messed with them, right? Um, and give them years of pain. But there was hope for that too, by a man named Salk, it's true, who gave his sample selflessly to what did I rhyme this with? Polio paralyzed kids and killed many. Yeah, that's true. Was it paralysis? I had a friend who, an older friend who had polio when she was a kid, and she always had a limp, but I wasn't sure what actually caused it, whether it was nerve damage or what, bone damage or what. Polio is paralysis. Okay. Then another scientist came. Jonas Salk was his name. He gave his needle selflessly to all. So now you know the score. Polio, it's mostly no more. You can thank the stick that does the trick when the T cells go to war. You may wonder, you may care, how the virus gets in there, and how it trains our soldiers in their fight. Well, it passes into you, and the cells they lock onto, making perfect antibodies for their plight. Could you remember the first verses? I definitely can't remember the first verses. So we'll have to like go I'll go back and watch this stream, and then maybe like in a future stream I'll come back and like actually play it properly. I don't mean to be a bore. B cells, not T cells. Okay. It is actually B lymphocytes which produce the antibodies from memory B cells. Shoot. Okay, we've got to change the course then, if that's accurate, Peter Williams. If I think you're probably correct on that. You're typing like someone who knows what they're talking about. Um, so now we've got to change it to when the B cells go to war, but that's okay. That's fine with me. Um, I don't mean to be a bore, but the world could appreciate more the lives we save from the grave when the B cells go to war. Now a rumor spread online. Vaccination wasn't fine. It was covering a horrifying truth. Someone quick give me something that rhymes with truth. Youth might work. From one disgraced, discredited post. Citing data that was toast, that said it could inflict brain changes on our youths. Most of us don't have time for this stuff. We're too busy being alive. That doesn't rhyme. It was from a 1990s debunked study. Yeah, it was pretty much one study. It's true that vaccines, like, there have been some vaccines that have had problems and needed to be recalled. Like, there was a dengue fever one that actually put your immune system in this weird middle place where it made dengue fever worse because your immune system had like an overreaction that actually killed you. And so like, vaccines definitely haven't been perfect, but the general theory is, we wiped out smallpox and polio and lots of other, measles, mumps, rubella, not really a thing anymore. And they cause muscle soreness and they can have short-term effects. Most of us consider it poor. The information from that score. The dude spent his life trying to discredit his own study. I didn't know that. We would rather live and live because vaccines are effective when the B cells go to war. Well, that was interesting. I do really wish that I could remember how that, like more than a couple of minutes ago, because I don't remember any of that now. But I'm gonna go back and see if we can turn it into something. That was kind of cool. Let's answer some questions. So someone hit me with a question. You can either be a question about this current this current pandemic. If you guys want to know that, or are you trying to do you want to know what's going on? Do you want me to talk about what's going on, or do you come here for an escape? I'm not sure. I'm trying to serve up what's needed by the populace, and to be honest, I'm not really sure. Okay, let's see. Why you vanished in between? I presume you mean for the past year. That's something that I talked about extensively last time. Once again, I'm gonna say, like, yesterday's stream is currently up publicly, I'm probably gonna I'm probably gonna go like put some of these unlisted. I'll probably keep like the latest one up publicly for like 24 hours, but just so it doesn't like flood the feed, I'm probably going to like put a bunch of them unlisted, but like put them in a playlist. But yeah, if I let's see, what would you say? What, okay, hmm. Why does it take 18 months to develop a vaccine for COVID-19? It doesn't take 18 months to develop a vaccine or like a vaccine candidate. Like you're hearing a lot of news right now that there are, you know, like every couple days it's like this people developed a vaccine. The problem is that like I was talking about with dengue fever, if you don't get the vaccine right, it can actually make the disease worse. And you know, there's a lot of testing that goes into these things. People don't assume there's like just like make a vaccine and put it into people and assume it's safe, because some of them are not when you make them. So you have to like extensively test it. So first, generally it goes into like animal trials, and then it'll go into like small human trial, and then a much larger human trial, and then you know that it's you know you know that it's safe, and then you actually can give it in large numbers. If you don't do that, then you're kind of flying blind. And so like they're like the CDC is rapidly accelerating the test protocols. Like the ones that are going on in the states, they're just skip and probably a lot of other places. They're just like skipping uh, the animal trials immediately, and they're going directly to human trials because you know this is an emergency. But it's still like if we get this in a year or 18 months, it'll be the fastest that a vaccine's ever been developed for something. Um, what would you say to people that say it's just a flu? Everyone is overreacting. I understand the I understand the feeling that this couldn't that like I actually reacted like that back in January, early February when I started hearing about this. I was definitely one of those people who's like, okay, like there's health scares all the time. I've lived, there's been West Nile and there's been Zika and there was SARS one and bird flu and swine flu. Like all of these health scares have come and gone and they've never affected me. And I thought, okay, well, this is another one of those. Um, and then I looked into it, and especially like you can do the math on this stuff, right? You can like once it sort of blew up in China, there was good data on like infection rates and on like on that gives you like sort of a doubling time in terms of the amount of people from one day to the next who will be affected. And then you could look at mortality rates, and out of China the early data was looking like 3-4%. I think that's been like there have been new analyses trying to take into account the missing like mild cases, and they're looking at more like 1 or 2%, very weighted at old toward old people. But 1 or 2% mortality is 10 to 20 times worse than a flu. So um, yeah, and we don't have any immunity to it, so it spreads very quickly because anyone who gets the virus in them is gonna get an infection and have to fight it off. And in the meantime, they'll be spreading it asymptomatically. I am in India. It's the most crucial stage here right now. I'm trying to be isolated as much as I could. Keshav, I think it's a very good call. At the moment, most places in the world like aren't really sure. Um, Fangirl Follies. People are not Batman. Instant gratification is not a thing in medicine. Yeah, that's unfortunately true. You need time to test these things. Uh, is the danger to infants known? The danger to infants is very, very mild, as it turns out. Like I think there have been a few cases of hospitalization of infants. I don't know of any cases of infants dying from this. So that's a blessing for sure. The mortality curve on it looks like I don't know which direction you're looking at. Looks like this, pretty much, where it's like up until the age of 40 or so, it's very much like the total mortality of a flu. It's like 0.1, 0.2%. And then it starts rising to like 1% for 40 to 50 and 4% and then 8% and like 15%. Um, It's seeming like it's mostly like age might not be the dominant factor. It might more be like comorbidities, like pre-existing conditions like heart disease and diabetes and like lung diseases like COPD. Uh, yeah. What's the state of the patient that was tested for vaccine for COVID-19 in Seattle? I have no idea. What's this? Oh, I have a super chat. What's the super chat? For good songs and good information. Thanks. Okay, cool. Well, I'll try to do. I don't know. I'll try to do a mix of that. People said it's highest in Indonesia, like 7%, from Neti. Um, it's really hard to tell. Like I don't know about Indonesia. I don't know how widely they're testing. The problem with all of these things, like when you look at these raw numbers, and like these terrifying numbers of like, oh, these there's like Italy has like 10% mortality, or even like the ratio between like closed cases, it's like half mortality. There's a bunch of things you need to factor in. One is, what are the demographics of the affected population? So the South Korean epidemic was very spiked in young people, and the Italian one seems to be very spiked in old people, and that could be cultural effects. It could be that South Korea tested tons of people, whereas Italy's only catching the severe cases. So if you only know about the severe cases and the mild cases are just staying in their homes, then obviously like mortality is going to be a lot higher in your actual sample. So there's a bunch of these problems in terms of actually determining it. Like there's at least one Johns Hopkins epidemiologist that I was listening to on, I think, Sam Harris's podcast, who was saying that like he expects that the actual mortality of this virus is down at like below 1%, like point five or so. Um, that's based on his belief that there's a lot of asymptomatic cases that like people don't even know about. And so it's a big guessing game. But the one thing that you can, but like we know for sure at this point, is that the combination of exponential growth, because there's no immunity to it, and how serious it is for some people, is enough to produce a situation like we saw in the early days of Wuhan and in Italy, and now coming up in probably coming up in France and Spain, which I hope will stave off the worst of it. And in the U.S., I'm really scared for that. It's enough to overwhelm the system. So it's like no flu has done that since 1918. Let's see. Chris Gazette just released a video. Oh, they released it. Okay, cool. Any idea how accurate it is? I haven't watched it yet. It must like I've been looking. I've been looking for that video, but because they've been saying they've been working on it super hard, but I haven't seen it yet. I don't know. Do you think people should still be giving blood? Yes, 100%. There's actually like people are saying this, like health professionals are saying this, like there's a real shortage of blood in the system because you like there's so many people coming into hospitals that giving blood is actually really important right now. Um, yeah, so if you're looking for something to like a way that you can help out in this health crisis, if you're like, I've found that for me, one of the most empowering and like ways that I can get out of just this like cowering inside with nobody around and being afraid and watching the news is to find ways to be useful. And so that's one of the reasons like I'm doing this. Like I'm hoping that I can help you guys out a little bit. I've been talking with a whole bunch of different people and like trying to like just my friends and trying to get them like prepared for what's going on and understanding the situation. But like anything, yeah, anything you can do to help out, I think it actually like not only does it help the world, but it also helps you. So blood and plasma needed, yes. Uh, King Gaming asks, "Are you married?" No, I'm not. I'm not married. I am getting kind of a like a warm up for having kids at the moment because I live right, right across the street from my sister, who has two kids, aged 5 and 2, and I'm over there all the time. So yeah, I would seriously watch you and Carl Sagan 42 have a conversation about this. Oh, I should reach out to Carl. I'll see if I can make that happen. I don't remember what his actual name is. Do people know his actual name? Michael Hartley, does this virus evolve fast enough to dodge the immune system and become a seasonal thing the way the influenza does? So I asked John Perry from Stated Clearly about this, and he's uncertain, but he does say because this is a single chromosome virus. I think influenza is multi-chromosome. Single chromosome viruses are hard. It's harder for them to undergo like big, immune system escaping mutations, because they normally you would have some sort of like chromosomal swap going on with like them, or like other influenza viruses, like they can mix up and recombine and do all the stuff that like we do by sexual reproduction. And the fact that this is one strand makes that more difficult. So it kind of has to mutate by like single base pairs swapping out and stuff like that. It's not impossible. Like this virus itself probably arose when two viruses co-infected the same animal, and like bits of one chromosome got attached to bits of another chromosome. But it is difficult for it to replicate fast. Like it doesn't have. This is one thing that I think gives a bit of hope. Like it doesn't have a lot of experience with people, like infecting people. It's obviously very good at doing it, but that doesn't mean that it's smart. Like it means that it sort of means that it got lucky. And how good it becomes at infecting people sort of depends on what happens in the next few years. Like whether we actually stamp it out, or like what kind of evolutionary pressures we put on the system. Like we could help it to evolve towards virulence and deadliness depending on what we do. If we are most serious about quarantining the most severe cases, then we'll probably actually select it for mildness in the long term, and maybe it'll end up like in the population, but with like a greatly reduced mortality. Maybe it'll just become another cold in a few years. But yeah, what was the question? I've lost my train of thought. You want to do a song? William says, "Can you please play your Blinded by Science song?" That's not my song. That is Thomas Dolby's song. So if you'd like to hear it, for those of you who don't know that song. It's poetry in motion, and when she turned her eyes to me, as deep as any ocean, and sweet as any harmony, that she blinded me with science. She blinded me with science, and filled me with technology. Okay, let's do Evo Devo. See if we can make that working. One thing I want to do in future days is I want to get the looper actually working properly. So then I can like build up songs in this. I think it'd be really cool. But for now, let's go up the octave so we can play it here. See, one cell divide and decide on 1,000 fates. Did you ever figure how they know? We are built of modules combined in a planned out way. Each new piece must be told where to go. Oh, now there's a science helping us to understand how our cells encode this architectural plan. signaling each other with genetic tools. Oh yeah, wow. Phenotype the interface for mouse and man. Genotype the fires and the sub-programs. What then are the switches, circuit cords, and boot code? Evo. Devo, looking at the logic in the ways that we grow. Every gene directed by a signal key code. Proteins that can activate, enhance, or veto. Evo, Devo, signals are controlled by other genes that signal. Calculating in a network labyrinth, where the heart and liver and the hands and feet go. Signal, 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 signal. Signal mapping tells each region what it ought to be, yo. With circuits so deeply built upon, they're older than the paleo. Gotta do a falsetto because I don't have a voice. Birth, the Paleozoic era, baby. In a crucial pathway, changes can get torpedoed. Where the calamity goes, as the cyclopic sheep knows. You gotta imagine a cyclopic sheep if you don't have it. See down they cascade like a domino, like you and I, Drosophila. The path that makes us obstacle was laid a long, long time ago. Back before we blew up the Cambrian like a bomb. My eye proteins can make me see out of a bomb. And hedgehog and its relatives like Indian and Sonic. Set up in a gradient on segments embryonic. Split forms and asymmetric parts depend upon it. Flipping on genetic switches and logic from Devo to Evo, adult and embryo. Mostly don't evolve in the genes of the genome. Save for the mutation and deregulation. Keep their building blocks and swap their activation from Evo to Evo. Parts of alter egos, homologs evolve from repeats in the schema. Switch a couple pieces in the proper places and watch flies grow legs out of their faces. Oh yeah, Evo. Cough into your elbow. Devo, stick around for modern synthesis, the sequel. Only by combining can a new theory go. Evolution and development amigos. Evo, Devo, signals trigger patterns of complexity. So switching up the switches of a signaling node gives a modular and simple way to evolve. Look at our spinal segments generate an Evo. Built on a molecular clock. What's that go one pretty, bro? Speeding up its rate is snakes developmental cheat code. They don't wear a lizard's speed go. They control distal aminos. They turn off distal aminos. Evo, Devo. This is how we go from single cells to people. Every generation and in life primeval. Life in variations, endless and beautiful. From Devo to Evo. Oh, life in a mosquito. Homologs evolve when proteins steer the genome. Whoa. Which part do I do? Yeah, wow. Devo to Evo. Voyage of the Beagle. Body plans evolve when proteins steer, and in this manner life's beauty grows. Aesthetica in vivo. Evo. Devo. Well, that's that. Yeah. Well, that's that. Oh, yeah. I want to try this again. Well, that's that. Oh, yeah. I want to try this again. That's that. Oh, yeah. I want to try this again. For those of you who don't know what I'm doing, I'm, because you arrived late. For those of you who don't know what I'm doing, I'm, because you arrived late, I'm putting the stream's audio back into it. I'm putting the stream's audio back into it. I'm putting the stream's audio back into it. Get kind of an ethereal delay vibe. Get kind of an ethereal delay vibe. Is this too weird? Do people like this? Is this too weird? Yes. Do people like this? Probably not. Is this too weird? Yes. Probably not. A little bit, yeah. A little bit, yeah. Give me other things to do. A little bit, yeah. Give me other things to do. Give me other things to do. Oh, that's weird. Oh, that's weird. All right. Let's. I don't know. I gotta experiment on here, guys. I'm learning how to cough into my elbow. A little bit. A little bit. Let's see what people thought of that. It's a little weird. This reminds me of that one test on Hawk's genes. Yep. That's what that whole Evo Diva song's about. Oh, can you make up a song about coronavirus to Mad World? I could try. Soviet? Are you still spamming Soviet motherland? Yeah. Only sneeze into your elbow, brother. My, a lot of people are doing the My Corona parody idea. Let's see if we can make it work. What key's it in? Yeah, I don't know if I want to do that. I feel weird about doing like, I don't know, making a like light-hearted song about this situation because I think it's going to get quite a bit worse and quite a bit sadder in the next couple weeks. Like I don't really want to look back on it and um I don't know and feel like I made light of it, you know? Um oh, there was a thing I wanted to share with you guys actually. But I'm not sure if I can find it. I'm gonna have to get my keyboard. Oh, oh. Can I do it? Just because, like, I feel like this stream should be partially educational as well. There was a whole thread by, what was his name? I'm gonna read this. Yeah, just in case any of you, because like I actually, so I guess the reason why I feel like this is important is that like I actually have been I actually fell for some of these myself, but this is like various myths about the coronavirus right now, and it's just a doctor on the on Twitter, Dr. Fahim Yunus sort of debunking it. So I thought I'd read you guys that just so you can see, like, in case you've had some of these running around, because some of them are like pretty plausible. Fahim Yunus. I'm hearing many myths about COVID-19, and I'd like to quickly clear the record. One is coronavirus will go away in summer months. I've heard this all over the place. Wrong, he says. Previous pandemics didn't follow weather patterns. Plus, as we enter summer, there will be winter in the southern hemisphere. Virus is global. I mean, that's pretty. It's if you think about it, it's pretty obvious, right? Like it's always going to be. It's never summer all over the world. So if you've got a worldwide disease, it's not going to be killed by summer weather. Myth number 2, in summer the virus will spread due to mosquito bites. No, the infection is spread via respiratory droplets, not by blood. Mosquitoes don't increase spread. So that's good to know for all the people who are thinking about giving blood and worried about it. You can still give blood. They're not testing for coronavirus at blood drives, and it's not a concern. Myth number 3, I saw this one before I read this article, or before I saw this thread. If you can hold your breath for 10 seconds without discomfort, you don't have COVID. That's not true at all. Most patients, he says, with coronavirus will be able to hold their breaths for much longer than 10 seconds, and many elderly without the virus won't be able to do it. Myth 4, since COVID testing is unavailable, we should donate blood. The blood bank will test for it. So this is like I think that's what no blood bank is testing for coronavirus. So you can't find out if you have it by donating blood. And he says blood donation is a sacred exercise. Let's make sure we're doing it for the right reasons. Myth number 5, coronavirus lives in the throat. I remember hearing this one and actually like thinking, oh, that's like plausible. It does live in the throat, that's why. But the myth is that drinking lots of water will push it down into your stomach and your stomach acid will digest it. The virus may gain entry via throat, but it penetrates into the host cells. You can't wash it away. Excessive water will make you run to the toilet. Myth number 6, all this social distancing is an overreaction. You'll see the virus won't cause much damage. He says, if we don't see many infections, I hope, it will prove that social distancing worked. Not the virus was never a big deal. Yeah, that's the problem with a lot of these preventative measures, right? If they work, you think, oh, that was kind of my feeling about SARS before I looked into it recently. It was like, oh, SARS was no big deal. It turns out SARS was like a massive effort to eradicate, but we managed to eradicate it before it got too far. Same with the Y2K bug. People all the time say, everyone freaked out about Y2K, and then it turned out to be nothing. It turned out to be nothing because everyone freaked out about it, and armies of people went and fixed all of the buggy code that was going to cause problems. So you do preventative measures, and then you don't get much thanks. Myth number 7, car accidents kill 30,000 people annually. What's the big deal with COVID? Car accidents are not contagious. Their fatalities don't double every 3 days, and they don't cause mass panic or a market crash. That's pretty self-explanatory. Myth 8, hand sanitizers are better than soap and water. For all those people hoarding hand sanitizer. Wrong. Soap and water actually kills and washes away the virus from skin. It can't penetrate at your skin cells. The virus, he means. Plus, it also cleans visible soiling of hands. Don't worry if Purell was sold out. Soap and water is better. Myth 9, one of the best strategies to prevent COVID is to clean every doorknob in your home with disinfectants. Wrong. Hand washing, maintaining 6 feet distance is best practice. Unless you're caring for a COVID patient at home, your home surfaces should not be a big risk. Myth number 10, COVID-19 was deliberately spread by, depending on your politics, the American or Chinese military. He just says, really? And leaves it at that. But there have been, there are studies that have come out now, actually looking at the sequence of the virus and looking for whether or not it shows signs of the gene editing techniques that we know about, and it doesn't. It looks perfectly like a natural virus that came out of a recombination event. So, hey, stated clearly in the chat. John is probably going to come on one of these live streams. If you want to know more about the origins of the virus, once again, go off and watch his video, Where Do Novel Viruses Come From? It's real good, and he's more knowledgeable about this than me. Let's see. Antibiotics do not kill the virus, says Jack Martinelli. That's very true. Antibiotics are part of the fight, though, because often when people get like real critical cases, they get secondary like opportunistic infections of bacteria. So antibiotics are not useless, but they're not going to kill the actual viral infection. Oh, what's going on here in the chat? I missed a lot reading that thing. Uh, Hello, Italy. Hello, hi, Italy. Hi, Liz. I hope you're doing okay. Do you have perfect pitch? I do. I do not have perfect pitch. I have very good relative pitch, and I have something like I can approximate perfect pitch because I've developed a sense of what guitar chords sound like in my head. So if I want to know what a C is, I can kind of hear a C chord sound, and then I can work it out from there. But people with perfect pitch, they perceive pitches the way that you and I perceive colors, right? It's like that when you see red, you don't have to work out whether it's red or orange or yellow. It's just it's totally obvious to you that it is what it is. Like there's a qualia to it that's different, and I don't have that for sure. I tried to record puffed up chords today, and it actually sounded better than before. Thank you for the encouragement. It really helped. Oh, that was I can't read your name because I think it's at is it that Hebrew script? And I don't know what it says, but or it might be Arabic. But I'm glad that I encouraged you. Yeah, keep going. Like every day that you record something, you're gonna figure out a few tricks and tips to record it better. Don't give up. Let's see. Can you distinguish a minor seventh from a minor third? Yeah, a minor seventh is that, and a minor third is that. They're pretty different. Um, the stream didn't freeze. I'm just trying to figure out what else is going on. What is the Y2K? What is the Y2K bug? Okay, I'm dating myself, I guess. The Y2K bug was in the year 2000. Well, like prior to the year 2000, people realized that a whole bunch of like fundamental computer code was writing like like dates, like in terms of like year, month, day, in a way that like you only had 2 digits for the year. And so instead of recording it as like 1985, 1997 or whatever, it was just doing like 85, 97. And they realized that as soon as it hit 99 to 2000, was anyone even alive before the year 2000? Wow, thanks, thanks, Joe. That makes me feel ancient. Um, yeah, they realized that if when it was going to roll over, all these digits were going to go from 99 to 0, and then there would be a whole bunch of math problems in the code where it's like trying to subtract, it's trying to find the previous year, and you subtract 99 from 0, and you end with a negative number. And yeah, there was going to be a lot of 1977 here. Cool. There were going to be a lot of problems with like people were worried about like the power grids shutting off and all sorts of things. And people did go kind of crazy with the speculation, but it was a thing that computer programmers saw coming about 3 years in advance, and and maybe more than that. And they really worked hard at like chasing everything down. I was just joking. Thanks. Born before the 90s. Yeah, I'm an 80s kid. I was born in 1989. Just the dying days of 1989. The number one song and the date of my birth was "We Didn't Start the Fire" by Billy Joel, which I don't know is topical right now because it's a song about sort of all the crazy things that happen in the world. Please make a "Pardon Me, Are You Schrodinger, Sir" song. Oh yeah, that was a sort of in joke that I had at the end of the Hamilton video, where like I start with like, "Pardon me, are you Schrodinger, sir?" And like from the musical Hamilton. So the thing is that after that, I don't know where it would go. I don't really have a science story to write about that. So it was more just like an inside joke for people who had watched Hamilton or listened to Hamilton. Entropic was Billy Joel, yeah. Ooh, Audrey asks, how did you do the song Arrow of Entropic Time? Um, oh, you want to, should we play that? And then I can explain what, like, for those of you who have seen the video, what the video was. Yeah, let's do that. See if we can get this. Yeah, that like Wurlitzer sound. Whoa, arrow of entropic time. Whoa, arrow of entropic. If you turn it back to raw food, that is the arrow of entropic time. Structure decomposes till it's gone. Hot spots cool and entropy grows on. My room was cleaner, now looks like Godzilla's been there. Not my fault, blame it on entropic time. Whoa, arrow of entropic time. Oh, arrow of entropic stars explode and leaves turn brown and fall. That's thermodynamics second law. But from a deep view, that doesn't need to be true. Time symmetry precludes entropic time. Maybe this won't last very long. Our cosmos is light, a fluctuation. In that case, it's probable we are a brain without a jar, decomposed in a moment. Who knows if that's true, and I'll be gone, thermalized before you hear this song. I'll take my chances, though I can't disprove these answers, that there's a reason for entropic time. One must go right back to the start, the order from whence all things fall apart. All life hinges on that state that was. We hope to find its cause, but it's more than we know now. Maybe there's a time-symmetric space, birthing big bangs all over the place, that then disperse as new baby universes with their own direction of entropic time. Whoa, arrow 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 of entropic time. Woo. So that song, I originally, when I did the song, it's about the arrow of time, right? Entropy and the reasons why time might run forwards rather than backwards, mostly relating to, as Sean Carroll puts it, that we are in the vicinity of a very influential event, which is the Big Bang. Similarly to the way that space has a direction when you're standing on Earth, because you're in the vicinity of a very massive object. That's why there's an up and a down that are distinguishable, and you fall down. Similarly, we kind of fall away from the Big Bang, and the fact that we're close to the Big Bang is the reason why there's such thing as a forward and a backward in time. Um, but to explain that, I decided that I wanted to do a backwards music video. So I recorded the song forwards, and then like just as a usual multi-track, and then I reversed it, and I spent like a couple weeks. Like there's a making of video on this, but on the second channel. But I reversed it, and then I spent a couple weeks like just learning the actual like the reversed lyrics. So it was really weird. Like it was like I don't remember the words. It was really strange. Someone should reverse that clip and send it to me, or maybe I'll do it. So I had to learn that backwards, and then my buddy Tom and I made up like a whole bunch of poster boards and put them all over my garage with like the backwards lyrics that I had like phonetically printed out, and we set up a whole bunch of these crazy backwards experiments, like knocking over water glasses and frying eggs and popping balloons and having water poured on my head and having fire lift off from my hand in a tea bag, which is a really cool experiment. And then like reversed it all. It was one of actually people always ask me with that video like how much time did that video take you? And it's like that one actually took less time than almost every other video I've ever made, because it just like it was a couple weeks to rehearse it, and then Miss Storm says I actually reversed the song. I was planning on uploading it Friday. You mean the one like the one I just did, or the one that's on the channel? Because the one that's on the channel, I think someone already uploaded a reversed version of it, so you can hear what it sounds like. But it was it was like 2 weeks of rehearsal and then a day of shooting, and then the video was essentially done. And that's one of the fastest videos I've ever produced, because comparatively, like it's only 5 voices. It's not very hard to record, and trying to like comparatively, like when you're doing like animation stuff like Evo Devo, like the animation took months. And for this, because it was all like practical real world effects, you just shoot it and then you're done. So I would love to do more videos like that if I have ideas. Let's see what we got going on. I'm impressed at the nerdiness. Thank you. I appreciate that so much. Viola Buddy asks, how do you do your arrangements? Do you write out sheet music? No, I don't. I'm learning sheet music, but I'm not very good at it. So I'm getting to the point now where like I'm in a choir and I can read like a pretty simple like melody pretty well, but it's not my natural language at all. I'm an ear trained person. So what I do is I go into my sound. I can probably show you guys this at some point. I go into my sound program and I just start singing, and like I'll listen to the song and be like, okay, well that's like usually I'll set out like the percussion track first. So like I don't know if it's like Despacito, then it's like figuring out like a right, like stuff like that. So like you lay that down, and then like once you've got that as a base, then maybe you like listen to it and you're like, okay, what's the bass line? And the bass line's like it's like like that's the one in the verse, and then the one in the chorus is like boom 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 boom. I don't know. It's like it's weirder. It's got like this thing going on. So like I just build it up by layers, and then it's like if you listen to it, like there will be like usually in a pop song there will be like they're trying to fill the entire sonic space. So there will be something like really up high it's kind of pulled down in the mix, but they're like it's just like a pad or something. So there's just something that goes in the background like chords. So like for me, for that one, I think it's like right, and that's one of them. And then there's like and then the one of the most interesting things in Evo Devo to arrange was the little like uh, charango or guitar, whatever it is, because it's doing what it's doing is right, and that's easy to do on a guitar or on a piano, but with voice, like because all these notes are overlapping each other, you can't do it as one thing. So you kind of have to do like and that's one of them. And then you got to do like and then you got to do like right, and then together it does that. So you get like really weird polyrhythm or like syncopations and that sort of thing, because like do 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 do, like you got to hit it on like the weird like and of two or something or of three. So it's a I don't know. That's the kind of stuff that I love. Like I think one of my favorite parts of these projects is probably my favorite part is putting together the arrangement, because that's like it's pure like exploration of the way that people make the songs themselves, and like creation, and like I don't know, it's so much fun. Like I love doing that. Uh, Mysteria says that's awesome. You're very musically inclined. You have an ear for it. Yeah, that's it's one of the reasons why I decided to check out a physics and as a career and do this sort of thing instead. This sounds like it would be very difficult with double stringed instruments combined with bagpipes. I don't know what's a double stringed instrument, like a mandolin? Like that wouldn't be too hard. You like often what you do is oh, I gotta not touch my face. Um, like often what you do with recording a cappella is you'll record the same part like 3 or 4 times so that it sounds like you can pan it in different ways, and instead of sounding like it's right there in the front of you like this, it can sound like there's people over here and they're like phasing with each other. And that's kind of the sound of a mandolin, like a double stringed instrument is like this kind of thing. You got 2 strings, and they're not quite in tune. They're like beating slightly out of time, and that's what gives you kind of this warble effect. So you just do that with your voice, and then yeah, and then you do. It sounds good. I don't know. And then there's a lot of digital trickery that goes into it as well. Never K. Yes, I am working on a new video. It's a quantum field theory video, and I played a little bit of it yesterday. William Rowan Hamilton is the perfect closing track to the concert he'll be doing someday. I've done a couple concerts actually in the past little while. I haven't done William Rowan Hamilton anywhere except at VidCon, where I met up with Tom McFadden, Science with Tom, and with Coughening. I can't remember what his actual name is, Mike something. And the three of us did like an impromptu like performance just on the like creator floor at VidCon, and we got like a crowd around us and did the William Rowan Hamilton, because that song is such a back and forth between different people, and it was really cool to have us come together and like read off our phones and try to remember it. I don't know, William Rowan Hamilton. does the plastered fourth-born son of a lawman in Dublin, dubbed an impressive polyglot, young and wonderkind, embarrassed in a contest with the prodigious Vermonter, obtain Irish science's highest honor, the math scholar, chief astronomer, rackaholic, got a lot farther by working a lot smarter. Nope, that's the real one. Knew more languages than the Holy Father, and every day while knaves were baying slaughter and ogling babes lost in the page, he studied and kept his guard up. Oh man, I can't do that one. I like the original Hamilton too much, and I'm just switching them around between the two of them. Bye, Never K. It's good to have you on the chat. Do you know what Kerbal Space Program is? I do know what Kerbal Space Program is, but I've never played it. Are you interested in sound healing? I have no idea what that is. I know that you can use a very high frequency ultrasound to break up tumors and things. That's the only kind of sound healing that I've ever heard of that has that is practiced within the medical profession. Yeah. Bass Cleft Dragons is asking, do you watch any non-science music YouTubers? Who do I watch? Well, I feel like Jacob Collier has kind of transcended YouTube at this point. Like he is a YouTuber, but he's also jumped off of YouTube and become this worldwide jazz phenom sensation. And I've been following him for quite a while, but I feel like I only really started following him once he gained prominence and was performing with Snarky Puppy and people like that. Jacob Collier is probably the best musician that I have ever seen, and that includes his live show is a live show that I really want to emulate big parts of. So him, Bill Wirtz. I mentioned Bill Wirtz yesterday. Just wonderful. So weird. It's very unique sound. It's there was a comment on a Bill Wirtz video at some point that was this is like baby music for adults, and I think that's pretty accurate in a way, because it's please save Dawn Bass. I don't know what that means, what you're spamming. But yeah, I've been really into kind of these weird pop jazz fusion type people in the past little while. So I'm a fan of Postmodern Jukebox and all the stuff that what's the name, Pomplamoose are doing. Yeah, I used to. I feel like a cappella YouTube has kind of I don't know. It's morphed into. I don't know. There's not many of us left, it seems, that are doing the one man a cappella stuff. There was a real there was a real flurry of that in the early days, when I was starting. I was all the rage to have people like me with heads in boxes. I think Pentatonics came along and kind of exploded that, and they were just so much better than everybody else that I think they took the spotlight and became what a cappella is. And then there are a few groups now that are on YouTube, like Citizen Queen, who are doing pretty much that thing. But I other than Jacob Collier, who's still doing massive crazy a cappella things, which are where he's using all sorts of microtonal harmony and really crazy interesting stuff. I feel the scene's kind of died down, especially for those old a cappella cover type people. I think Mike Tompkins is still doing things, but he's got his following compared to back in the day is very tiny. And people Matt something, McCulloch, McGoring, no. Yeah. If you don't stop spamming save Dawn Bass, I'm gonna block you. Let's see. Baby music for adults, if proper, can be baby music for babies too. I actually think Oh, that's the other thing. I'm really into like music theory YouTubers. So people like Adam Neely, 12 Tone, like Sideways, 8-bit music theory, Rick Beato. Um, Rick Beato had a really good point because he has a son with like absolutely phenomenal perfect pitch, and he Sam Robson. I gotta mention Sam Robson in the like as people who are still doing a cappella and still like killing it. I don't understand how Sam Robson doesn't have more people watching him, especially more people on Patreon, because that dude is insane. He was on one. He was on the exoplanet video, the guy with the giant hair, and he's brilliant. Uh, yeah, but Rick Beato has this kid who has amazing perfect pitch. I can't remember his son's name, but the way he did it was that he, like ever since his son was like real small baby, he was actually playing him really complex music, like like Bach, like going in all sorts of different keys and like free jazz and um, I really think there's something to that. Like I really get annoyed when babies are given like only simple baby music, like it. I think music probably has a lot in common with language, and there's like this critical period in language to like learn the sounds of your language and adopt them and have them become innate, and that critical period is between 0 and 2 years basically. And if you like if you didn't hear language in those first 2 years, you have like real trouble becoming fluent and like hearing the sounds of your language. And so with babies, it's like like best practice is just to talk to them a lot, and talk to them in full sentences and all sorts of different grammar structures, and they'll pick it up. And I think like that same neuroplasticity really applies to music too. And it's like it's crazy making to me that all of the kids songs are like baby shark doo 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 baby shark doo 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 baby shark doo 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 baby shark, right? Like that's like I don't know, if you have a kid, and you want them to like appreciate music, you should be giving them like right, like all sorts of weird stuff, and like giving them like the full richness of language, because then like they're going to absorb that and it won't be weird to them. I mean, yes, Angela, Baby Shark is a banger song. I will admit, I've had a lot of dances to Baby Shark with my niece and nephew, so I'm not gonna knock it entirely. When did you? Hope is asking, when did you learn piano? It was piano was the first instrument I learned. Um, Future video jazz arrangements of Baby Shark on the physiology of sharks. There is like a shark themed Baby Shark that goes into the science of sharks on YouTube somewhere. How would you do that? Baby shark, baby shark, baby shark, baby shark, mommy shark, mommy shark, mommy shark, mommy shark. Um, I guess you could do something like that. Uh, but what was I talking about? There was when did I learn the piano? I started the piano when I was 3. My dad has always played the piano, just kind of like however he wants to, like just wandering around and playing whatever he feels like very intuitively. And he taught my older sister and older brother. And while they were learning, I was like listening to what they were doing, and I would just crawl up on the piano bench and start to like from what they did start to play what they were playing. And yeah, been sort of playing the piano ever since. Although I hit a brick wall at some point. Like as soon as as soon as I went to a piano teacher that asked me to like do theory and go through like the grades, and it actually got stressful. I'm not that person. Like I have had problems with authority all my life. I don't like authorities hanging over me. So I quit piano as soon as that happened, and I picked up the guitar and I picked up the drums, and I spent my entire like teenage years playing drums in like this metal band with my brother with like double pedal and screaming, and kind of like got a keyboard and still did sort of like keyboard stuff. And then in my 20s I was pretty religious, and I was very involved in like religious worship music. Um, and so that got me back into playing like guitar and piano and drums in various capacities. And got like I credit that with making me really comfortable with crowds, because uh, like singing in front of a church congregation every Sunday will do great things for your stage fright. So if you wanna hack your musical career, join a church for a while. Joe says would not have pegged you for someone really religious. Yeah, I mean people are complicated, right? I'm hoping to have a genetically modified skeptic on the podcast, or podcast on the stream at some point. I reached out to him. I'll see if he responds, because he's like the one YouTuber I've found that really understands my experience as like someone who's not really religious now, but like grew up in it and actually really sees the like beauty and joy and benefit in it, and but at the same time also sees like the 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 misery that can come out of it for your own psyche, and just kind of the range of that is something that like if you've only ever been in one or the other, it's very difficult to understand. So it would be really cool if I can get him on and we can, like, I don't know, maybe have a discussion for you guys about that and that experience, kind of bridging the gap. You know those theories that predicted the galaxy's forms with the musical tones? No, I don't. I mean, the early universe probably did, like, if the universe did start as in like rapid inflation, when it stopped inflating, it did probably sort of ring like a bell, and that probably introduced the like matter anisotropies. Anisotropy is a fancy word meaning more dense here, less dense here. So you need more dense and less dense, and then the more dense regions collapse into galaxies. Um, so I don't know if that's what you're talking about, but if you are, then you're onto something. Yeah. Um, could you play something that is played in a church? I wish I had like an organ on. I don't know, like a lot of like the church music that I like now is like the classical stuff, like um or like the when like composers wrote masses and stuff, like Bach, you know, wrote masses and I think Lutheran services. I'm not sure, but you know, like all of the old like 17th, 18th, 19th century music is like it's based on religious texts, and it's gorgeous. You know, it's the great composers of all time. That's what they were writing, because that's what everyone was doing at the time. Um, and I really like gospel. Uh, you know, see you, Tim. Thanks for doing this. Physics helps. Thanks, physics helps. Thanks for tuning in. Uh, yeah, I like gospel. I like even like the old hymns, right? Like I don't know, they're very much like the like when we started with with that anthem for our troops inside our bodies. You know, that's where my intuitions for that kind of stuff comes from. Is, you know, this stuff like praise God from whom all blessings flow. It's that old timey kind of sound that's like the music that was just pop music in a given era gets locked into a certain genre a lot. So like the pop music of the 1800s was what people in churches all turned into church hymns, and that's what we think of as that sound now. Same with like Christmas songs. A lot of the great Christmas songs were written when jazz was the pop music of the time. It was like, the 10s, 20s, 30s. Um, and so now when people hear like like a like a like that kind of like jazz sound, people think, oh, that sounds Christmassy, right? It's not, but it's just that like those are the pop songs of the time that survived, and they were all jazz songs. Um, so I don't know. Adam Neely has a good video about that. But the like modern sort of like contemporary worship music in churches, I have very little time for now. Like I played it quite a bit and I get what it's doing, but it's basically it's entirely like Coldplay, um, with repeating mantras, and it's like musically it's not particularly interesting to me. Let's see, what time is it? I'm gonna keep this up. I think I'm gonna do this for another 20 minutes, as we did yesterday. We're gonna keep this going for a couple of hours. Um, yeah, let's see. Frankly, your songs are my religious music, and frequently I can't help weep a bit. That's cool. Like I think it has actually informed the way that I compose these songs. And like I'm whenever I'm looking for like how like the emotional resonance of a song that I'm doing, I'm kind of going back to what I know, right? And I think I kind of know like how to hit home and like bring something to a final emotional conclusion, that like I'm always kind of looking for that sense of awe, right, in a song. And so like it's, I don't know, that like aha moment, but mixed with kind of, I don't know. I think it gives me a little bit of like a reverence in my tone when I go when I do, like in Evo Devo, as goofy as it is, it's like I finished with like this Latin. Like it's not as I had to. I actually emailed a bishop that I know to ask him about that Aesthetica in Vivo line, because I was like, is this proper Latin? I don't know. Like it sounds like I'm struggling for things to rhyme with Evo Devo, and I think this means something like beauty in life, and it would be really cool if it does. So I actually had to email this bishop that I know in Montreal, um, and ask him, and he said, yeah, it worked. Basically works. He was a little skeptical about it being the precise best way to say it, but creative license. Did you ever think about a PCR song to the tune of YMCA? I think that already exists. Um, I think someone's already done that. More music, please. You guys want more music? Maybe we can do one more. I know I did CRISPR yesterday. I did a bit of CRISPR. Um, what are my good songs? Ooh, let's do the one on the second channel. This is a song that I didn't expect to be a hit, because I wrote it in like a day and produced it in another day and put it on the second channel because I didn't think it was worth the first channel. And for some reason now it's like my fourth most watched video of all time. Um, you want to guess what it is? First one to Miss Storm. I have two channels because there's some stuff that I don't think belongs on this channel. Although I'm getting more lax with that. Like I think in the past I might have put like this live stream on the second channel, and then now I don't know. I do what I want. This is my channel. When I do this song live, I split the crowd into 3 parts, and I actually teach them like different parts to this. I couldn't really do that with you guys because you don't know it, or you can't hear each other. We could do this over Zoom, maybe. But the most fun part that I teach the crowd is like la 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 la. So at home, if you want to sing along to that, la 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 and keep that going while I go. Because you know I'm all about that bass, no acid. All about that bass, no acid. I'm all about that bass, no acid. All about that bass, bass. Yeah, it's pretty clear. I ain't no science fool, so you got litmus. Well, I can turn it blue, make it go boom boom all over the place. With all the H plus, meet all the OHs. Big phenolphthalein, I think that's straight dope. Mix in a lipid here and it'll make it soap. You want it neutral. pH is low, better set up a titration with the strong hydroxyl drop. Well, my lab tech, she told me don't worry about your eyes, 'cause if acid gets in them, we just have to neutralize. That neutral. No, I love me, my stomach, and all the things it dissolves. But my bile duct keeps it from eating my intestine walls. That's actually inaccurate. Because I wrote the song in the day, I didn't do a lot of checking of my facts. And the bile duct does not neutralize your stomach acid. It's actually bicarbonate from your gallbladder, I think. So sorry about that. Because you know I'm all about that bass, no acid. I'm all about that bass, no acid. All about that bass, no acid. All about that bass, I'm gonna do the math to figure out the ratios to react. Stoichiometry, yeah, that's where it's at. And it'll tell you to prepare at least 1 molar for your strong hydroxyl drop. Well, my lab tech, she told me don't worry about your eyes. If you don't like it, leave, Regale. 'Cause if acid gets in, we can fix it with alkalis. That neutral, that neutral. No, I love me, my stomach, and all the things it dissolves. 'Cause my bile duct keeps it from eating my intestine walls. Because you know I'm all about that bass, no acid. I'm all about that bass, no acid. All about that bass, no acid. I'm all about that bass, because you know I'm all about that bass, no acid. I'm all about that bass, no acid. All about that bass, no acid, yeah. Ooh, 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 Zoobidababweedoo. Ooh woo, ooh woo. Yeah. How should we wrap this thing up? Thanks, thanks, Aerospace News. Thanks everyone for that. Well, Gail, you asked for it. I don't know what to tell you. That's what's gonna happen. King Gaming. I put this music video inside my chemistry project. Nice. There are people who have cited me in scientific papers, which is weird. Like people have cited me in CRISPR, for CRISPR. The 4 dislikes are mathematicians. Bye, Carl Johan Svenningsson. Bye. It's good to have you. You came for the last 15 minutes, but it was awesome. Thanks, Red Moon. Oh, more suggestions. What should I, as we progress and I do this for more days, if we can just get really soulful right now. Tell me what you're feeling. Open up your deepest desires as to what I should do in this stream. You know, we got a little free time on our hands. We're all stuck here in this quarantine. You know, I just want to reach out to all you guys right now. Tell you I appreciate you coming on. This is your stream. And tell me in the chat what you want to see in it. We could do like tutorials. I could do reactions to my old videos. We could do songs with people. We could do more communal songs. We could do like conversations with other YouTubers or other people. We could do particular topical things. I don't know. I'm combining the piano, like the 90s piano with the actual, or the 80s piano with the actual piano, and together they give this very gospel sound. Yeah, it's basically Dire Docks from Mario 64. You're right. Community songs, that's cool. Okay, we could do more of that. That was I really liked doing the whatever the B cells going off to war one. You could do like bits on some science topics for us scientists who follow you. Like one day do physics, the other day chemistry, and communicate with your scientific community. That would be cool. Yeah, I'll think about that. You sing a love song about exoplanetology. Weirdly enough, I already did that as a video. But you know, this is the right if I was gonna do all parts of that song, I didn't bring water today. I should have done that. If I was gonna do all parts of that song, I would have to be good at falsetto. I can show you a world, a shining, shimmering planet, revealed in the band shifts of the closest star in sight. And I found hope in the skies, and facing wonder, I wonder, could the sine wave discovered be a planet fit for life, a whole new world, a new fantastic point of blue, placed in that narrow zone where water flows midway between hope and steaming, a whole new world. It's on a faint and reddish hue, but could there be waiting here, a biosphere evolving in this whole new world to view? Unbelievable find, indescribable feeling, NASA star shade revealing through directly captured light, a whole new world, nigh impossible to see. Next to its parents' flare, if life is there, we'll know through atmosphere spectroscopy. Block the glare of the star with a star-shaped occulter, chasing that crazy dream that's always been walking in a whole new world with you. A whole new world, that's where we'll be. A thrilling place, a home in space for you and me. I think it's going to do it for today. Thanks so much to you guys for tuning in once again. I really appreciate the support. I appreciate you coming down, and I'm here to, I'm here to support you guys. I'm going to try to do this tomorrow, same time once again. This stream, the previous stream is probably going to go dark and get put on a playlist. This stream will be public for the next 24 hours. The other one you'll be able to find in a playlist on my channel. And yeah, I really appreciate the 150 of you that are watching, and like the several hundred who came throughout the stream. It's I don't know, it's really cool. It's really fun doing this, and I feel like I'm still figuring out how to do this most effectively, and I don't know. I feel more comfortable day 2 than day 1, so. I want to figure out more ways to be interactive. But yeah, thanks for stopping by. It starts tomorrow. Tomorrow should be at 2 p.m. Eastern time. Greenwich Mean Time, I think that's 7, but whatever. You can do the Google. You Google what 2 p.m. Eastern time is in your time zone. And let's see. Yeah, cool. So we will have to put Gail in a timeout there because that needed to be done. And all right, I'll take care of you. Take care of yourselves, guys. Take care of your elders and keep them safe. Wash your hands. Keep your safe distance from people. I hope things are okay in your city. I hope your loved ones are safe. Be alert, not anxious. And plug once again, if you want more information about coronavirus from reputable sources, go to Chubby Emu's page. He's got a really great compilation of a whole bunch of different coronavirus videos from actual medical professionals and stuff. So yeah, have a good time, a good day in quarantine the rest of the time. Thanks King Gaming for being here the whole time, and I'll see you guys later. It's been great fun. How do I stop this stream? Oh no. Yes.